Hi guys, Keith from Elixir of Life here. I'm just putting a little bit of a demo quick together of how I create my chocolate coconut smoothies in the mornings that I have for breakfast, or sometimes I use them as a sort of a power drink just before training. A couple of my teenage athletes from the Elite Youth Conditioning Squad have been asking for some demonstration on this, so I'm doing that. Making note that there is a bit of a big knife involved, so make sure you guys that you talk to your parents about using these things properly, just to be correct and ethical and responsible. Basically, you can see already that I've put together a little bit of coconut into the one already. So you've mixed out the coconut juice and the coconut flesh from that at the moment. What I'm going to do now is just give you a quick run through as to, or demo as to how I sort of crack it open or break it open so that you can see what's going on. Essentially the biggest thing to do is to sort of try find your 3 points in a pyramid shape across the top like that. Sometimes that doesn't quite work for whatever reason and you might need to do 4. I would be warning against doing this kind of thing. I think that's pretty stupid in the early stages, so preferably stay away from doing that. Just find a hard surface and work on being a little bit smarter in how you do it. Essentially from there what we're going to look at is that, and you've got to give it a fairly good crack, and I think I might end up having to do the 4 option here. Whoops, there we go, a bit of spray, and which the ants always really enjoy. Okay, and we're just going to get this open, which if you give it a good enough crack, hard enough, you probably don't have to do this half the time. So we get that there, and then it's a matter of pouring this luscious stuff into the beaker. Okay, got all that, and then once we've got that, it's an issue of just putting in what we can do. So you can scrape it out. Some people will tend to, once they've got the flesh out, will just chop the whole thing in half and work on getting more of that out. I sort of tend to see a bit of a mission. I'd rather just get it out and do what I can in getting it out. Sometimes you might scrape a bit of the hard bits, but generally you won't swallow them, I can tell you now, because they'll sink to the bottom of your beaker, and you'll feel them in your mouth as soon as you go, and you know you've got them in there because you'll hear them crackling away when you're doing the blending. And so we just take all that out, scooping it out, getting what you can. Sometimes some of these things are a bit hard, sometimes the flesh inside is amazingly soft. I think it's just a case of what you get dished out, actually. A bit of a noise there. With the coconuts up in Coffs Harbour, people, we're a little bit challenged for choice. Essentially in Coffs we've got Coles down at the new Coles in town. That's about the only place that I know of that you can find them. The Jetty IGA were stocking them for a little while. I don't know if they still are, and they were more expensive. The other place to go is out to Kombu at out in Bellingen, and you can get some really nice organic ones there as well. It's just unfortunate that we sort of don't have a bigger demand up here at the moment, but you know, luckily, as much as I hate to say it, Coles are actually supporting us quite a bit in getting that, because I've got a number of clients that go there. Alright, so once we've done all that, put all this stuff to the side, then we've got to add in the tasty stuff. So, if you'll come with me, we'll move inside and have a little bit of a go with this. So it's a bit darker, hopefully the light doesn't ruin anything. So putting that there, getting all this there. I'll do this most times around the kitchen sink, is my sort of standard preparation for the day. So hopefully it doesn't get too ruined visually. So we've got our coconut, etc. all prepped there. I've made a little bit of a mess already with coconut juice from the previous one I cracked. what I like to do is make sure that I tend to mix between 2 to 3 eggs, making sure that they're free range and organic. The eggs that I buy up in Coffs here are the Jack's eggs. Those are my favorite to buy. Free range, pasture fed eggs. Obviously much healthier, much higher in omega-3 fats, much higher in your vitamin D, vitamin A, etc. that goes with that. So looking for that, you can go to Happy Frog is a good place to source them from. So is there's somewhere else. Sorry, the markets have also got other eggs on Thursdays. Russell's Butchers is the other place that got Jack's eggs. I've noticed in the plaza. The markets on Thursdays down in town have also got some really good eggs available. So essentially just cracking them in, then in a dish like that. Whoa. And I tend to get quite excited as I'm making this. I really enjoy creating this in the mornings. This is my sort of little bit of me time with the universe and enjoyment factor and appreciation factor. It's going to be a little bit of a messy one in that already there's a bit going on fullness wise there, but I have a technique to that. Sometimes I add bananas in them. Again, these are locally grown up at Karingi. The Me Healthy Farm, this is my new favorite place to shop. Me Healthy Farm, I think it's 146 Upper Aurora Road, Upper Aurora, just off the Karingi store on the side of the road. You turn left, go up there for about 4 minutes, 5 minutes. These are all the food is locally grown, pretty much organic without the label, and cheaper than the supermarkets. And I tell you what, it is just absolutely gorgeous and luscious to eat. All right, so looking at that, my challenge is coming. So a little bit of my favorite, more stuff to add in. Organic frozen blueberries. Okay, that's what we've got to look at doing. But I'm gonna have to do the emergency eat before I prepare story, which I will add some chocolate in. So raw cacao, I tend to get this from Essential Health. It's my favorite place to buy anything that is healthy from, if I can, or if they've got it in stock. So looking here, raw cacao, guys, basically chocolate without all the rubbish. I've lost my spoon, so I'm left it outside. So I'm just going to do a bit of a guesstimate. Normally I'll add in about 2 dessert spoons to this, just to get a good flavor going. So you've got a lot of good things happening in there, and you don't have all the sugary crap that goes with it. Organic cinnamon powder, adding that in there for a little bit of that flavor. Okay, so that part's going good. You can have a look quickly at that. That's a pretty full beaker that I'm dealing with there. Now, the handheld blender, well, it's just the environment that I'm in with it, and it's going to be a little bit tricky, but I'm going to do a little bit of a spill. That does happen. Okay. So we're going good. Chocolate's going in. You can see the color that's starting to come through. I just like to blend it up a little bit, not make too much mess, not get too much blending going on, but just to start getting that. As I said, this is an emergency blend because I've got more things that I want to put in there and I've got to make the space. Obviously, the more fruit, etc., that you start, or flesh that you get, and the more fruit that you throw in, the more challenge you get for space. But there's that first sip of the day. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so that one's there. Just my last actual ingredient, frozen blueberries. Like I said, I get these from Coles. Again, these are organic, not Coles, Woolworths, my apologies. Again, a situation of challenge for supply in a regional town, and got those guys in there working on now blending it up and getting a seriously mean antioxidant filled, nutrition filled smoothie breakfast that is absolutely gorgeous. Like I said, this is a pretty spiritual little routine that I have going. It's just something that I absolutely enjoy. I always call the coconuts mother's milk from the earth, just for the nutrition content and the fact that they are just so tasty. I mean, even by themselves, they're tasty. And as far as I'm concerned, that is breakfast. I hope that gives you guys a bit of an idea of what goes on. Anyone with any questions, please put them up on Facebook, ask me out about it, and we can go from there. Have a good meal. Cheers, guys.